Last time on Create Sky Colonies, I dislocated my shoulder a few weeks ago and couldn't play for about 3 weeks, so Charlie made a ton of progress while I was away. So at the beginning of last episode, he walks me around everything that he did. He showed me how to do all of the mine colony stuff. He built a hangar. It was an insane amount of things. After the recap he gave us, we got started on being productive. So we built out an elevator. We also built a precision mechanism and clay farm because that was something that Charlie needed really bad. And in this episode, we're starting out with clearing out most of the hangar that Charlie made the facade of in the last episode, with the goal of automating factory gauges in this episode. In order to do that, we needed to get set up in our factory. So that means setting up a pretty simple access point so we could send and request resources from our storage, setting up a pressing system to get gold sheets, then setting up a mixing system for literally everything else like andesite alloy, cogwheels, and large cogwheels. We had to kidnap the indigenous population, steal some of their resources, and then also make a crafting module so that we could craft any of the other miscellaneous objects together. After that, we were finally able to put in our factory gauges, and by the end of the episode, we had the automation set up to make factory gauges fully automatically. Welcome back to another episode on Create Sky Colonies. I forgot the name there. We'll just pretend that I didn't. In the last one, we made a ton of progress, and I have already made progress in our little hangar here underneath the side of our main island. And boom, we dug out a ton of space. This took so long. I'm not even gonna lie. I have upgraded our fancy pickaxe a little bit more. Still not an insta-mine. I'm real annoyed about it, but it's at least better. It's at least a little bit faster. I may have to talk and complain to Charlie about why it's not insta-mine because he said it was gonna be, and it's still not. But yeah, we've made quite a bit of progress digging out this area, but I don't think this is where I'm gonna spend a lot of my time because I don't know what Charlie's vision for this area is other than what I've done. So instead, let's actually take our elevator up that we are going to fix in this episode. Charlie obviously doesn't like just the cube. I needed to get us something set up so that I could do stuff, but we are going to fix it to make it look better. And we'll also have to fix this exit over here. But in this episode, I am going to be mostly working over here in our Create factory. I mean, is anyone ever surprised that Create Boy wants to do Create stuff? But we are going to be working a lot in this area. We have set it up infrastructure-wise to work with packages and such. Now I want to get in a lot of our things. So this isn't going to be factory board stuff, I don't think, but it will be machines. We already have a precision mechanism farm up here. We made our clay farm down there in the last episode as well, and we are going to fill up this second level with a bunch of modules and stuff. So somewhat similar to these, where it's not a full farm like our clay one down here, but instead a sub-module for processing of certain items. I have already done this in my Create 1 block world, and that it was very recent to what we're doing now, so I'm not going to go as in-depth. If you want to see all of the farms and modules that we're making, I go over how to build them, well, kind of how to build them. I go over me building them in my Create 1 block series. I would absolutely recommend watching that if you haven't, and if you're still interested in learning more, I have tutorials on most of these modules, so you'll be able to find it. There are certain things that we want to automate first in order to automate more things, and that first one is going to be factory gauges. Since we require factory gauges to automate more parts of the Create process, it just makes sense for this to be one of the first things we automate in the game. Factory gauges are relatively expensive. They require precision mechanisms and stock links. However, we already have a precision mechanism farm. The issue is we need all of these sub-modules. So these are either crafting or mixing. This we already have actually in our iron farm down here. I have set up iron nugget storage, iron ingot storage, and iron block storage, so we have plenty of storage for iron. So our iron nuggets can be checked off the list, and we also have a gold farm down, I think it's that barrel right there. We have a bunch of gold. So we have the ability for that as well. We just need to press it into gold sheets. On the other side, we need stock links. These are, again, not too difficult. Requires copper. We have a copper farm, no problem. But it also requires crafting of stuff, copper sheets, and redstone, which thankfully we have a redstone miner somewhere on the map far away, because I mean, we're on a sky colony. We can't really get redstone from mining normally. From the looks of it, the only two that we need are mixers for our cogwheels and a crafting setup for our stock links and item vaults, and I guess barrels are required to make item vaults, is that right? Yeah, and barrels. We're also going to need a pressing system for our iron and gold sheets. So in this beginning part of the episode, I am going to set up, first off, pressing machine. Second, a crafting system, and third, a mixing system. Before we're able to build these machines, I am done and tired of running back and forth between our starter base where we have storage located, when with Create 6 we could just have packages being sent over here. So I'm going to, ironically, run back over to our starter base and get the materials required to get a kind of access point set up over on our other island. So our access point is going to require a stock ticker, blaze burner, and then frogport packager, chest, crafting table, whatever else. And I think we should have most of those things. The most expensive being a blaze burner, since we can't easily go to the nether. The other ones being a stock ticker, which requires a stock link, which requires a transmitter, which requires a lightning rod. All right, I have everything that we need, hopefully, except for maybe a frogport. I think I forgot that. But we can come around, grab all of our stuff here. I'm gonna put crafting table in between you two, and then we can put our chest here. And here we go, we have all of our stuff now connected. Ideally, I want to switch, I don't want to like add filters to this, but for right now, I can't be bothered. We at least have some stuff. So we can now request stuff to our factory access point. Let's just request a stack of cobble just to make sure that it works. But I'm hoping that it should. We have everything set up here. I stole a frogport from over here. So everything should be working now. Cobblestone acquired and delivered, so that is working great. So now that we have our access point here, let's get started on making a quick pressing module to go around about here. This should be relatively easy to set up since it's just going to be frogport coming in as our input, going down on a belt, mechanical press pressing whatever thing is there, and then getting straight back in a barrel, frogport, send it back out. Should be that simple. That is exactly what I've done. I've got a very simple pressing system up and running here, and I've actually forgot to put in casings back here to make it look a little bit better. Now let's test it out really quick. So we go over here and grab, oh right, it's not filtered. Oh, perfect, gold, and send it to pressing. We should see gold being sent up to there. One thing I'm gonna do while that happens is add pressing to a list of predefined destinations. So let's run up here, and we're hoping that it comes in over on this side, gets dropped out, the package gets cut by the saw, the contents of it, which is what we're trying to press, gets down on the belt, pressed, and then moves into this barrel. So I'm hoping that everything goes to plan, and we should be seeing a package coming here shortly. There it is, and nice, pressed. And then after 20 seconds, we have a pulse timer here that'll send it off, and we should see pretty much instantly that gets sent back to our storage system, which means it's working great. So that is pressing out of the way. We can mark off gold sheets. The next thing I want to do is mixing. The main benefits of mixing instead of crafting for things like cogwheels and large cogwheels, I think it's just that it's faster. So you can send one item to a crafting machine and it will craft the one shaft and 2 planks into 1 cogwheel. However, if we send it to mixing, we can send a full stack of planks, half a stack of shafts, and get half of a stack of cogwheels back, which is way more time efficient and sends way less packages on the line itself. So it's always better to use mixers or whatever other crafting recipe other than crafting if you're planning on making a lot of something. In terms of cogwheels, we totally are. These are used for 20 different things, you can see there. So yeah, the less on the lines, the better. Mixing is a little bit more difficult, and instead of just building the same module that I always do, I'm actually gonna change it up a smidge. We're gonna put it, I think, just right in front of this window here. And normally what I do is set a frogport just for any type of mixing, have it separate out and go onto the belt. The only issue is I use tunnels for that, and for whatever reason, tunnels aren't the best at organizing or separating out items, and I frequently see it where the packagers back up on the tunnels and make it impossible to actually mix anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly set up the mixing setups that I want, which is going to look very similar to what you've seen me do in the past, and then we'll get to how we're going to distribute our packages in the back. All right, I have an array of mixers here all set up. We have our heating one for pretty much just brass. This one is going to be water for, I think it's going to just be cardboard here, but or I guess it would be pulp, but maybe some other stuff as well. I don't really know what requires water and mixing. And then we have our 2 cogwheels and then 2 sets of andesite alloy, because I've noticed that andesite alloy is the most used. And maybe actually we don't include this last one here now that I'm thinking about it, because the thought I had for making sure that nothing overflows and backs up. Before, as I mentioned, I had tunnels here and those would overflow. Instead, let's do barrels we just need normal funnels coming out of these since it should already be filtered. And I guess I don't have any funnels in here. So we'll get those later, but funnels coming out on here. And then we're gonna have smart chutes on top, which is going to be where our package filters are going. From here, we can either have the input be over on this side or on this side. And either way, it'll work, I assume, the same. What I'll do is I'll have this belt going to our output and have it be on the same side. So which way would I rather do it? Honestly, I'm thinking we have the input and output be over on this side here, just so that it's closer to our more difficult to make ones. And don't worry, for OCD people, I have moved this barrel to be the correct direction, so don't worry about it. Now I suppose let's get to outputs. So barrel here for our output. I need to grab some funnels as well, so that's not gonna be usable just yet. Up top here, we're gonna need another belt system going all the way across for our packages. We're gonna end it off with a depot, and then I'm gonna extend this by one cogwheels connecting those two together. From here, we can cogwheel downwards with a gearbox and a shaft to there. That can be inverted if we need to. Then we can do the same thing here. And then once we power our mechanical pump and mixers, that should be everything. So let's quickly grab ourselves a chain conveyor. This is going to go, let's see, it's in this block. There we go. Everything is connected up. And did I accidentally make everything go the right way the first time? Try? Pretty much. All we need is a quick inverse of U, and I think we're good. Well, the next step is to get in package filters for all of these. That'll be easy to do. And then I also need to grab some funnels, as I already mentioned. Ooh, one thing we don't have is zinc. I was looking to, because we need these for our package filters. We don't have the ability to get this whatsoever. At least we don't, to my knowledge. Ooh, yeah, no, so zinc is something we don't have, and therefore we can't use package filters at the moment. Oh, which may mean this is gonna be way harder to make. We don't have any zinc, is that right? I think we may have blocks of zinc somewhere, but that is a limited resource and a half, so we're definitely gonna need to get more of that somehow. That is not good. I thought we had at least most of our ores and irons and stuff, and zinc is a big one to not have. I came to this village to hopefully get some blocks of zinc, because I think some of the houses are made out of it, and they have villagers still, and I need myself some mending, so I'm stealing, it's a kidnapping, I'm not, I'm borrowing them, I don't know, I'll give them back, for sure, but I think, oh, those are blocks of andesite alloy. Do we not have normal zinc, bro? This looks like zinc. No. Are these all andesite alloy? That would be such a bummer. Dang it. How do we get zinc? I was gonna say, that would have been epic. Well, let's bring you home. Wait, don't make fun of me. Am I really this stupid? Okay, well, we can use this for the time being. I'll only take some, because then we can use more. No way. Are you kidding? What? This is not safe. This is not safe at all. I'm taking this and I'm leaving. A creeper killed my villager. Oh, these are blocks of raw zinc. Ooh, I thought they were zinc ore. They are not. Let me take more of you. That's actually huge. Okay, that'll tide us over for a little bit. It's actually been like 10 seconds and I've forgotten what I needed zinc for. Welcome everyone. New day, new us. All right, let's go. We are back. Our boys are still alive, so that's a benefit. Right now, I'm thinking of putting them down here, maybe just temporarily, mostly because I don't want them to get struck by lightning and turn into bad guys. Wait, where did the third one go? Oh, you're trapped. Okay, perfect. Well, we have our zinc. Let's head back upstairs and figure out what I needed zinc for. Oh, man. How do I not remember? Oh, right, the package filters. So we now have our package filters, and we have our frog port set to mixer. That says M-I-X-E-R, colon, and then an asterisk. That will let us set our packagers to, if we could do mixer, and then space, let's do andesite alloy as our first one. We're gonna set that as the filter. And what I'm gonna do actually is pick up our clipboard here and copy over our package filter each time we write one, because we're going to want to have all of these written down. Small cog, that is going right next to our andesite alloy. Then we're doing large cog. Then we're gonna do mixer water for the one with eventually water in it. I need to get an infinite water source there still. And then the last one is going to be mixer hot. There we go. So all of those are in. And now I'm assuming if we get ourselves, oh, I don't know, let's say an iron nugget and some andesite alloy. And let's actually put our clipboard back down so that we can read it. So we want iron nugget, andesite alloy, send it to mixer, andesite alloy. What we should see are both of those things sent out. Ooh, and this is something, okay, this is something I forgot to do that we will do in a second. So it looks like our iron nugget was broken into pieces, which is good. We are just waiting on our andesite. Weird that it hasn't been sent out yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, it just came from further away. But this should break and then go straight into our mixer. There we go. So this is all working. This is gonna go into this barrel, which we haven't set for output yet. One thing I didn't think of is, you know how our iron nugget got in here before our andesite alloy? Or, sorry, before our andesite? That is not ideal. What we want is for it to wait until we get both of them, and then it can go in. So, what I want to do instead is grab ourselves an item vault. We will remove this one for now, and then we're going to... Ooh, and you know what? This is actually going to be even more compact. I lied, that's not going to work. So instead, let's put our item vault here. I'm going to want our frog port in the middle here. This is going to be weird. This is going to be set to mixer, again, asterisk. And that's going to drop everything into this item vault. Then we can grab ourselves a repackager, put it here. I hope I have a lever on me. I don't, but I can make one, so that works. We're going to power this constantly, and that will do exactly what will fix the issue. And then here we can put a funnel going outward onto our belts. So this now should work. We can send, let me send, if we have a shaft, let's do a stack of shafts and a stack of planks and send it to mixer small cog. This should eventually send a shaft and a stack of wood planks over to here. They should both enter into this basin in the same package, so it should only be one package, which would be ideal, even if they come in at different times. And this is kind of the beauty of the new Create 6 update. I know, like, even Charlie does this as a part-time job, basically, and still doesn't know everything about it. So if you don't, that is perfectly fine. But it's helpful to learn. See how that worked? That was crazy. They did both come in the same package, so it was a little bit different than what we just saw. But even if something different happened, it would have been the same outcome. One package here, down through here, and onto this. As I was saying though, even if you don't know how this new stuff works, watching this type of thing and just ingesting it will give you the ability to learn, and just messing around with it yourself will also help. The only reason I know to do this is because it was backing up like crazy when I was making andesite alloy, and it was just giving us iron nuggets, because there was andesite in our barrel here at once upon a time, but it just happened to choose the iron nuggets one, which eventually led to a backup and our iron nuggets just stopping on the saw, never going into this basin and soft locking our andesite alloy production. So having a repackager here fixes that issue, and here we go. A stack of cogwheels fully automatically, super easily made as well. Everything else here is really complicated, but that's because I know everything that I'm gonna need to do mixer-wise, so I just built all of it at the same time. I also set up a lava one here that connects up down to here onto the underside of our steam engines, which at the moment is not connected to anything because we don't have an infinite lava source. But eventually we'll have lava there for, it's not a superheated blaze, it's just a normal heated blaze for making brass. We are gonna need more zinc though, so that's on the to-do list, I guess, now. Finally, I think we've officially made it to the crafting section. This is very similar to what we just did in theory, but obviously it's going to be a little bit different. We don't need our package filters, everything's just going to be craftable. We are going to need our repackager, and of course instead of mixers, we're going to need crafters. So crafters themselves are pretty expensive. The electron tubes for us right now are probably the most expensive part, because they're just annoying. There we go, 20 mechanical crafters, just a little bit more than what we needed, which is ideal. What I'm going to do is do it one away from the wall. Yeah, the way this is going to work, we're going to need to connect all of these mechanical crafters from the back in order for the create mod to know that they're one connected entity. And then I'm going to have it go straight down to the bottom and then over to the left. We're going to do a second mechanical crafter in the exact same way. And there we go. That is the bulk of the farm. Let's just do a 3x3. I am going to make it in line with our crafter there though. So this process is going to be pretty simple. We're going to have our item vault here, frog port on top. Perfect, we have some. And I'm gonna do 2 frog ports since we have 2 crafters. All right, that should be everything now. Again, I'm gonna wanna test this and double again. We need packagers and frog ports up everywhere, but we can do that at the very end once everything's working. So let's add in our boy here, and then let's send something to a crafter. So what do we wanna make? Can we make this? Nope. Can we make this? Aha, let's make 5 item vaults and send this to the crafter. Let's also make some lightning rods and send them to the crafter. And then we should see both of these get stuff. Oh, package already. Eaten? Coming out here. How does this game work? I didn't know that would happen. Wait. Do we need a packager? I think this is the same thing I did in one block. So, oopie daisy. We gotta put stuff away. Okay. Okay. I do this every single time. We need a packager going into our crafters. This is fine and not a problem. Let's try this again. We're gonna have packagers going into our crafters. Put back down our repackagers, power both of them. Let's try this again. I maybe have removed everything. I lied, get owned. So I've been sending copper back to our main base for a little bit to make sure that our thing is working, our crafting is working. And it doesn't look like it's getting there, so let's check out what's going on. I suspect our item vault is full. Okay, so this means our item vault is full. Not great. Not great at all. What I would ideally like is a new storage area. And this is gonna be a difficult one. The answer is probably over there, which sucks a little bit for pretty much the sole reason of it's a little boring. However, the reason you put it next to all your factory stuff is so that your factory stuff doesn't take an infinite amount of time with all of the stuff it's trying to send and receive on these chains. It'll take way longer if everything we need or want to make is being sent all the way over here, all the way on these chains, all the way through, under the bridge, up through there, and back over to our starter base area. But where here? Because this is very factory-y. This is 3 blocks wide, the exact width of an item vault. There is plenty of room for item vault here, and it would at least make for pretty good semi-permanent temporary storage. We only have 6 item vaults left? Is that for real? Okay, we have 30 item vaults left. Let's lay out a few item vaults to see how many we can fit in here. So that's gonna be our item vault. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks long, which doesn't give us much space for a second one. However, one directly above it fits in pretty perfectly. Ooh, very nice. Okay, and then we would only be able to have 4 item vaults here for the time being. But I think, honestly, that's probably good for now. The benefit as well is they're 1 block apart, so we can, with smart chutes, connect item vault 1 up with item vault 2, and make it so that things don't overlap. There's not a weird system going on where some items get stuck in somewhere else, and hopefully it'll work better. If you haven't seen my Create One Block World, I'm speaking about it a lot. That's because I just recorded the last episode for it. Check it out. But that's what happened in my Create One Block World. It was a big old problem. It caused a ton of backups, and hopefully we're gonna avoid it in this one. What we can do in the future, now that I'm thinking about it, we're gonna have item vaults here. If we just dig downward, we can fit more and more underneath here, just into the abyss. The only thing that we need to think about is how the frog ports from those low down item vaults are gonna get up here. So this is something to consider. We may or may not do it. I'm still up in the air about it. Let's make some item vaults. And I suppose we need to make some barrels first. So let's send the barrel to the crafter. And this will be our first genuine crafting request. Oh, and here it comes. I'm suspecting it'll go into this repackager. I lied. Into there. And crafted. Incredible. This is working great. Very excited about this. That means our system is working. Now we need to send out our package. So I'm going to put in a packager up top, grab me a frog port, pop that bad boy here. I have more pulse timers somewhere. I may have lost them in the Great Flood. There we go. Barrels have been made. I've set up a pulse timer as well, so that'll get sent back out to nowhere because it's not directing anywhere. Oh, well, I guess that's a good thing. It got sent right back here because I haven't set this to only send packages. Perfect. I need to grab a sign and put storage on this. All right, there we go. We can put our stuff back in here. Once that gets back to storage, we can send a request out for a bunch of item vaults to be crafted. And honestly, while we're doing that, I'm going to send another stack of barrels because each item vault is going to use, what, 69? That is not nice. Oh, that's where all my packages have been going. Forgot to put a block back here. Well, this isn't good. All right, well, that's been fixed. Not in the best way, perhaps. Nice. 2 big ol' item vaults. In order for our storage to not back up, or for if the storage does back up, for it to also not back up the belts unless some extra stuff is happening, we need 2 separate fog ports. The first one is going to be, and I need to connect it to the stupid chain. The first one is going to be our storage. This is going to be our receiving frog port for both of these item vaults. This item vault, however, and this one, so that's why I have 2 here, are also going to be sending only, and these ones are going to be the ones connected to the actual system. Our storage is just going to be a receiving one. So you, sir, are just receiving, and this one, send only, and we need to get some stock links to connect it up. Even though it doesn't seem like we're close to having automated stuff, we actually really are. All right, now that we have stock links, we should be able to place you and you and you on these, and then once I get another frog port, these should both be up and running. But for now, I mean, even our bottom one is working already. So what we should be able to do is empty out all of my inventory. I can't keep doing this. And I want this to send back just to storage and just the new storage. So in order to do that, I actually need to zoop through here and change the name of this storage frog port up top here to our starter base storage. I am only going to send to this if I super need to, and hopefully we won't have to need to, and eventually this will empty out. So what I'm gonna do is rename this to starter storage. That should send stuff back out. Interestingly, these things directed to storage won't be able to get there for whatever reason, which means we got something wrong, which I guess it's a good thing to check now. Oh, maybe not. Did it figure itself out? I guess it did. All right, well, that means it's working, at least a little bit. We should see all those things come all the way back over to here on the far side, and it looks like, yeah, beautiful. Wow, okay. So that means it's working. And that also means we should probably get our factory board up and running somewhere. Again, I don't know where Charlie wants to do this. I'm kind of thinking over in our hangar, because we have a huge blank wall in the back, and right now I'm not loading in the chunks, so it's invisible, I guess. It's a fun little optical illusion. But we're gonna have it over there because it's gonna look sick. A few more item vault crafting later, we have 22 factory gauges, which is totally enough for what we need to do. I am going to, with our magical tube, head back over to near our starter base area so I can get some blocks for building, and then I need to go down to the hangar, because I was chatting with Charlie last night. He wants our factory gauge board to be on the back wall of the hangar that we dug out in a few minutes ago, I guess. So I guess now we have to decide what blocks we want to use for our backdrop. So we could use something like industrial iron. That is pretty cheap to make, it just requires iron ingots. Or we could do something from this array. I really think deep slate is going to look good. So let's do deep slate. I'm suspecting this is going to be enough. I want to do our deep slate brick. I think that's going to look the best. Maybe I'm going to be wrong here. So we'll see. Oh, you know what? This is going to be faster. There we go. And now let's head down into the hangar. Our wall is in. Let's get in these factory gauges. These, I've already connected them up with our system here. So what I'm going to do is I am, similarly to what I have in every season or every series, I guess, we're going to get a lot of basic ones in for nuggets, ingots, and blocks of all the different ingot types. And then I'm also going to do the pressed versions of each. We don't have enough of these. Let's remove some. We don't need all of them right now whatsoever. I'm being way ahead of myself. Okay, no. So we're going to put in iron there. We're going to do gold sheets here, because those are both things that we need. And then we could set up our iron sheets, our iron ingots, gold sheets, our gold ingots, stack in a stack, and then I think, oh, it actually does reach. That's crazy. I'm shocked that it does, and we can set both of these to pressing. Great. So now we've automated these two things. We are going to need more gold ingots, but if we ask for, we can do 5 stacks of each. We'll get both of those automatically. And there we go. High logistics trigger an automatic package request using factory gauges. Incredible. We now need precision mechanisms, but first we need cogwheels, large and small ones. So I'm going to do that over here. I think that makes the most sense. So what we're going to have is our shafts and andesite alloy up at the top here. I think both cogwheels make sense to be like right here. So I'm going to have shafts here, andesite alloy here, and then we're going to need andesite itself somewhere. And actually I'm going to remove any that we're not actively using because I think I'm going to need all of these. So for andesite alloy, we're going to need andesite itself. Drag that in there, and then we can set andesite and where are my iron nuggets? Right there as our crafting ingredients. We can do a stack and a stack. Actually, I think it's 32 and 32 gives us 64. Am I right in that? Oh no, it's 1-to-1. So a stack and a stack gives us a stack. We're sending that to the mixer. Perfect. We can set that to 5 stacks, and we should be getting 5 stacks of andesite alloy. I'm actually going to do 10 because we're going to need them. And then I would like this to be sawing, but for now we have a crafter, so we can just set it to the mechanical crafting recipe, and it's only going to be a little bit slow. I'm going to ask for 8 stacks of those, and then our cogs both need shafts and also planks. For wood, I am going to bring those all the way over here. We are technically farming all of them, but none of them are connected to our storage system, so we'll have to do that at some point. I think I'm just going to default to spruce, and we do have 1,000 spruce logs, so that's probably fine. We may change this later on, but for now, we can, over here, cogwheel requires planks, and so does the large cogwheel. Both of these can be set up, so we're going to do a stack and a stack and a stack, and it'll be mixer for the small cog. For our large cog, it's going to be 32 shafts, a stack of those for 32 large cogs. And there we go. That is all set up now. All right, I've turned off my shaders so you can maybe see better, but I've also added in our spruce and spruce slabs into here, so we should be able to start making some of these. I'm going to bump these up to 5 stacks each. We then need to get in copper. I am being a little bit more frugal with our factory gauges as of right now because I am running out quickly. So I'm putting in copper and redstone right now so that we can make our, I think it's a transmitter was the thing that I needed. Yeah, this one we're doing a lightning rod. Here we're doing our transmitter, both of which are relatively difficult to make. At least kind of complicated and expensive, especially just since copper itself is pretty difficult to get. But let's get 3 stacks and then 2 stacks of those. We have plenty of redstone, thankfully. And now we just have barrels, item vaults, and then the 2 things that we super need right now are stock links and our factory gauge. So stock links are going to require a transmitter and an item vault. I'm going to do a barrel over here and then an item vault kind of in between that and the iron. So barrel, super simple. I'm gonna request 5 stacks of barrels, and I'm gonna do pretty much the same with the item vaults. So item vaults are barrel and iron sheets. Set it to the crafter, send it off. We want 5 stacks of that as well. And then this, I think it needs an item vault, am I right? So we can set that to crafter, and I want 2 stacks of those at all times. Now, the last thing we need is a factory gauge, and I don't have precision mechanisms, but we can at least set it up with the stock link for right now. For precision mechanisms, we need these 2 and iron nuggets, which we do have. I actually don't think we need the blocks right this second. So what I'm going to do instead is place down our precision mechanism here, and this is going to use a billion things, and this one's a little bit complicated since the precision mechanisms are not a 1-to-1 conversion, nor are they super simple. So what precision mechanisms are, we're gonna say send 12 of these out. You need then 60 of each of these. Oh, and you know what? I'm doing 10 and 50 of each of these because there's a 20% chance that it doesn't work, which means this will give us 8 precision mechanisms, and we are going to set the promises to 30 minutes, which will make it so that this request will get fulfilled. But if we get unlucky, and let's say we get 7 out of 10, which is a little bit less than the 80% likelihood, then it'll cancel it out after 30 minutes and we'll request a new one. So there we go. Those are in. We can now add our precision mechanisms, set this to crafter, and let's say we want 2 stacks of those as well. I think that's everything. Now we need to go see if our crafter is overloaded, because I can almost assuredly assume, are those real words? I have no idea. Why can you not see me? But I got a little bit carried away. But I'm kind of hoping that we have, oh, we definitely have packages going along. Oh, and what does this look like under the bridge? Oh, it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty sick. Let's take the tube instead. It's a little bit safer, but we should see a ton of stuff happening, and we totally do. So yeah, this is all getting made. A bunch of things are being crafted right now, including stock links, which we love to see. I do actually, in the meantime, need to hook up our gold and copper to our system with some packages and stuff. And gold specifically, we need to do some processing for, because obviously crushed raw gold, not very helpful. We can set up probably just a fan, like what we have up here, that will cook stuff, but that will mean this little area is going to need a change, so I can do that a little bit later. What we can do for right now is supplement it with a bit of gold, and I'll take this crushed raw gold as well, I suppose. So I've upgraded our storage now to be absolutely insane. We have storage for every type of thingy in the game. The main one was gold that we wanted to do, but there's also copper and such that I wanted to set up. So we have everything now connected here in our factories. I also think it's been long enough for the crafting to finish up. So let's run over and check out our factory gauges, see if there's anything broken, and if I need to do anything specific to fix stuff. So I can already see some red lines, and I'm not really sure where they're coming from. What are the issues right now? I do think this is expected, that we don't have any more copper right now, because it's currently filling up on nuggets. So that's not a problem. Is that the only issue we're running into? It looks like these also don't have stuff. Is that because we're out of planks? Yes, because we're out of spruce. Okay, the main thing we need to do now is head over to our wood farm that we have and connect spruce up to the main system. I have one more stock link that we can use, and I think spruce deserves it. This will also give us some benefits of being able to make gearboxes and such, because I am running out of those and I need cogs to do so. And with this, that'll be connected up. Let's set it to send only, and this is going to, how is this still full of spruce? What the heck is it sending out? Oh, it's sending out 1 spruce log at a time. Oh, okay, so this is why sawing is going to be very, very helpful, because it's sending it over to the crafter, and that can only do 1 spruce log at a time. So it's really inefficient, but it'll at least do something for now until we get sawing in. It's going to be a similar module to our mixers, so it's going to be a little bit involved. And honestly, I may just do 1 sawing thing, or maybe just 2 for everything. But yeah, for now, it's going to be inefficient. That's okay. We have to tell ourselves that, or I'm going to go crazy. Now, though, we kind of just have to AFK. We have to wait for all of this stuff to happen. So I am going to do that, and I may come back before this is done and work on our infinite lava source. It kind of depends how long this is going to take. But let's AFK for, let's say, 3 or 4 hours and see how this is doing. Our factories are still full screen. Jeez. Our factories are still trying to run, and I'm terribly sorry, given the amount of darkness and shadow that I've been dealing with. I am just gonna not use shaders. If you really hate that, let me know down in the comments and I can switch back to using shaders, but I assume my viewers don't care because I've never played with shaders before. But as I was saying, this is still running, still doing stuff. So God bless you. So I'm thinking we end this episode here. In the next one, we're going to be doing lava. I need to figure out a really cool build for this, but it is going to be a infinite lava source ship. So it's going to be insane. So make sure you subscribe for that. If you're not already, like the video, subscribe, buy my merch, and have a fantastic rest of your day. It felt like I couldn't say those words. I don't know what that was. But yeah, that'll do it. Bye-bye.